guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time viewing my videos, my name is Elle Morgan and I create content to help better your lives in some way. And I want you to become a BFF. You're gonna love it here. You know, I'll be your best friend in your head, so just go ahead and do it, girl. So for today's video, I want to talk about the downside of being a merchandise coordinator. So like a lot of people have been experiencing, COVID has really affected pretty much everybody's lives, okay? Especially when it comes to the jobs. So especially for me, being that I primarily work in different retail stores, it has really affected my projects that I've been able to work. A lot of the brands that we had have either not been sending us in anymore, or it's been cut back dramatically. So just to give you guys a little background, I work as a merchandise coordinator for a company. So I basically go in to different stores and I service different brands. It goes across the board. Mostly it is retail, but sometimes it is electronic too. So it just really depends. So basically the projects vary from the length and what I'm actually doing. So sometimes I have to go in and I'll have to re-merchandise a whole brand, which will take me several hours. Sometimes I go in and I have to retag something because maybe something was printed out wrong and the store receives the labels that I need to use or whatever materials I need to use, and I go in and I do that project, which can be like an hour or two. So it just really depends. So just a little background on exactly what I do, but it can vary, you know, just depending on the company that you work for and the brands that they service. So the first thing I want to talk about is the fact that this position, a lot of the times it is part-time, and I know depending on your financial situation, that might not be the best for you. You might have to have 2 or 3 other jobs to help ends meet, because being a merchandise coordinator, sometimes, you know, you don't get a full-time position, especially if you work in a smaller town, which I do. Now I know that this company has this company service brands all over, so they service it in bigger cities, so those people might have access to full-time hours. But as for me, unfortunately, just part-time. But it works out with our living situation, given that he works full-time, I'm part-time, and I'm here mostly with the kids. So right now that works for us. Depending on the company that you may work for, the pay isn't always the best. Now I have been blessed to be able to find a job that starts about $14 on up, depending on the project that I have to do, but usually the lowest is about $14 an hour as far as like the different projects that I do. But sometimes, most of the time, these types of jobs are going to be maybe like $9, $10, $11 an hour, sometimes even lower. I know the lowest that I've worked was probably like 11 and some change, but that was like right after I had Ryan and I just was kind of getting back into working again. So that really wasn't a huge deal, but it was just something to kind of get my feet back into the job market and all of that. But that can definitely be a downside, because you know, the cost of living is high and it's getting higher. And you know, you definitely will want to make as much as you can, obviously. This one has most recently affected me, and this is not having steady hours. So because of COVID, my hours have been cut dramatically. One of the brands that I used to work with primarily, which was a big money maker for me, we no longer work with them, or at least we're not working with them in a huge capacity, because I've only had one project for them, which wasn't very long. So I'm used to having 8 hours with this company and making upwards to $14 to $18, depending on what I had to do. So not having that anymore is a nice chunk of change out of my check, and like, that's a problem. It has been something that really has been affecting me. I've really been trying to re-strategize and figure out what I'm going to do next. If I'm going to try to find another merchandising job, or just what I'm going to do, because I can't keep doing this, because it's been cut like so much. That's all I have for you guys. I just wanted to shed a little light on the downside of it, just so you guys have a full picture of what it's like being a merchandise coordinator. Because I know in previous videos, you know, I just I gave you tips on how to find jobs, what to look for and all of that. And now I want to give you I still want to give you the real, give you the other side of things. Like once you have these jobs, like this can happen, so you are prepared. I would also, if possible, depending on your situation, if you have a merchandising job like this, I would also look for having something else as well, because this, you know, it can fluctuate to having maybe 1 project a month to having 10. And that is a huge difference, especially when you have a family that you're trying to provide and take care of. So that would definitely be my advice to you guys who are looking to have jobs like these and who currently have a job like this. So just wanted to give you guys a little insight on that. Don't forget to check out all my social media links down below, and check out my store, 107inlux.com. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.